What's good, college students? This is Fred Johnson IV, Mr. I'm Gonna Graduate, your favorite college success coach, and I got a college tip for you. Teach somebody. Teach somebody. A lot of y'all, when you're thinking about your study skills, you're thinking about how do you prepare for a test. Whatever you're studying for, get to a level where you can teach it to somebody else. So I get to a level where I can teach it. Where think about if you had to develop a lesson to teach this thing, right? This concept. What would you need to be able to understand? How would you need to be able to explain it? How deep would you need to be able to go? How much would you be able to break it down? That's the level I want you to go to. I think a lot of times we're so focused on how to pass a test, what information we need to pass a test. You get really surface level. You really want to more deeply understand these concepts and say, hey, can I teach this thing? Now, am I expecting you to spend hours and hours and hours doing this? Of course not. But I want you to really think about what are some of the key concepts that you're learning. Are you able to teach it to your friends? Next step for you is take an opportunity, take one concept from an area that you're struggling a lot in, and I want you to try to teach that concept to one of your friends in 5 minutes. If you can do it, it means you mastered that content. What's good, college students? This is Fred Johnson IV, Mr. I'm Gonna Graduate, your favorite college success coach, and I got a life tip for y'all. I just need you to show up. I just need you to show up. There's nothing else that you really need to do except show up, because when you show up, more often times than not, you're going to show out. You're going to do what you need to do. There's so many opportunities in life that are missed because you're just not showing up. You're not showing up to class. You're not showing up to the meetings. You're not showing up to the opportunity to do the thing that you need to do. Just show up and be present and let your body, let your gut, let your instincts take over. Sometimes we create these excuses in our heads about why we're not good enough or why we shouldn't go or why something is inconvenience. Some of the best opportunities and some of the best wins and successes are going to be on the other side of discomfort, are going to be on the other side of inconvenience. Just commit to showing up and be surprised by what happens next. What's good, parents? This is Fred Johnson IV, Mr. I'm Gonna Graduate, your favorite college success coach, and I got a tip for y'all. Something that you need to help your child be able to do is establish their priorities. Establish what is important to them, because oftentimes we find children and adults, they have a disconnect between what they say is important and how they're spending their time. So what I want you to do is connect with your child and ask them, hey, what is most important to you and why? Because a lot of times, sometimes they don't even know why it's important to them. Sometimes it's important just because it's important to their friends and not them, right? Figure out how to help them connect their long-term success to what they're prioritizing now, right? And if they can prioritize things and habits and routines today that help them to hit long-term goals, that's going to be much more important than something that helps them to hit a short-term goal. And guess what? Even if they have a short-term goal and a short-term focus, help them focus on what are my priorities. If your son or daughter says that they're really focused on making the basketball team or cheerleading team, that's number one priority, ask them how they're spending their time. Right? What needs to happen to make that team? Do they need to keep their grades up? Do they need to have a certain level of skill? Are they spending their time doing those things, or are they spending their time sleeping? Help them establish those priorities and help them think about, if these are my priorities, what does that mean for how I spend my time?